The sun is crucial to our ecosystem. If it vanished, life on Earth would immediately cease. Scientists say that one day the sun could get so big that it might swallow up Earth. A claim so incredible, you might think. How could the sun, a life-giver, become a destroyer? This prediction is expected to occur in approximately 7 to 9 billion years. It's a baffling concept to grasp, but to understand it, we need to dive into the core of the sun, where a process known as nuclear fusion takes place. Nuclear fusion is the binding of atomic nuclei to form a heavier nucleus. It needs two things to occur: extreme temperature and extreme pressure. Under these conditions, like those in the sun's core, which reaches 15 million degrees Celsius and pressures of 256 billion gigapascals, atoms come close enough to combine through a force known as the nuclear force. This binding is nuclear fusion. Within the sun, nuclear fusion is a continuous process. Hydrogen nuclei merge to create helium, losing about 0.7% of the mass in the process. This mass is transformed into light and heat energy as per the mass energy equivalence principle. The sun burns around 400 to 600 million tons of hydrogen per second, with the resulting helium accumulating at the sun's core. The fusion process also produces photons within the sun. These photons travel from the core towards the sun's surface for about 1 million years before being emitted into space as sunlight. The beautiful sunrise we see each morning is essentially energy from nuclear fusion at the sun's core. But the sun's fuel is finite. What happens when the hydrogen reserves deplete? Will the sun, just like our vehicles, cease when it runs out of fuel? As the sun exhausts its hydrogen, the core contracts under gravity's force, increasing the core's density and temperature. As a result, nuclear fusion begins to occur in areas outside the core, where previously the temperature was too low for it to happen. This new fusion process outside the core causes energy to accumulate at the sun's center, leading to increased pressure. This change disturbs the balance between nuclear forces and gravity that has kept the sun's size stable. The energy released from the expanded fusion process pushes the sun's outer layers out, causing it to swell significantly. The sun begins to evolve into a red giant. As the sun transitions into a red giant, the remaining hydrogen atoms outside of the helium core are drawn towards the center due to its extreme density, temperature, and pressure. This fusion, far more intense than what occurs now, results in an expansion of the sun's size. The fusion energy is dispersed across the surface of the enlarged sun, thereby decreasing the surface temperature. The sun, once our life-giver, transforms into a red giant, an overwhelming and imposing entity. As the sun matures into a red giant, its surface area significantly expands, intensifying its luminosity by about 1,000 to 10,000 times. Concurrently, nuclear fusion triggers a helium flash near its center, causing the star's convection zone to enlarge. This convection zone, now extended near the fusion area, continuously circulates and mixes the star's materials. Imagine what might happen to Earth if our sun morphs into a red giant, predicted to occur roughly 7 billion years from now. This transformation will see the sun's radius expand to about 150 times its current size. Eventually, the outer layer of the sun's atmosphere will escape into outer space due to the inability of gravity to act at this extended radius. In this process, the sun sheds about 38% of its mass. As the sun grows, our solar system faces dramatic changes. The Sun's enlargement will cause Mercury and Venus to come into contact with its atmosphere, leading to a sharp increase in their temperatures and eventually their absorption by the Sun. The fate of Earth, however, sparks divergent opinions among scientists. While some predict Earth's consumption due to the gravitational pull, others argue against it. As the Sun loses its mass and weakens its gravity, Earth's orbit might extend from 1.3 to 1.7 astronomical units, potentially averting the worst-case scenario of being drawn into the Sun. Yet, avoiding engulfment does not imply salvation. The drastic increase in the Sun's heat, despite a decreased surface temperature, leads to Earth's oceans' evaporation. Earth's atmosphere will then become similar to present-day Venus, eventually escaping into space. The result is a molten Earth, and with it, the end of our civilization and the annihilation of our ecosystem. Beyond Earth, from Mars to Neptune, the planets are unlikely to be swallowed by the Sun. But the solar system's structure will significantly alter due to the Sun's weakened gravity. Even mighty Jupiter and Saturn, spared from consumption, may disintegrate due to the Sun's tidal forces, possibly forming rings around the Sun. The once life-sustaining Sun morphs into a destructive tyrant, a red giant devouring its planet. The beautiful harmony of our solar system gives way to unrecognizable chaos. While these events may seem dire, they are predicted to occur billions of years in the future. With our remarkable science and technological advancements, humanity has ample time to develop survival strategies. Perhaps we may take inspiration from films like The Interstellar, either by constructing subterranean cities or locating a new celestial home. However, the Sun's evolution is not yet complete. Over a period of time, this red giant will undergo yet another transformation, shedding its outer layers and creating a spectacular visual phenomenon known as a planetary nebula. The nebula, glowing in radiant hues, will encapsulate the space around the star, leaving the stellar core exposed. This core will ultimately settle into a white dwarf, a dense and hot remnant of the star that once shone brightly. In our next journey together, we will see about stars that undergo a grand transformation into white dwarfs.